Hey guys, it's Anam Khan. So yesterday, I got I got a chance to watch Tom Nash's interview of Meet Kevin. It was actually a really good interview. It was actually the first time I've watched an interview of Meet Kevin since he dropped that bombshell of selling his $20 million worth of stocks and cryptocurrency. So I mean, there was a few pretty good takeaways. I mean, honestly, overall, I liked how Tom Nash interviewed Meet Kevin. I think he did a pretty good job, and I think he was being very fair. Um, but in this video, I wanted to go over one of the big things that I took away from this hour and a half long interview. And what that is that Tom Nash and Meet Kevin are both in alignment. They both believe that the stock market's about to crash, which was very interesting to me. Um, Meet Kevin, initially in his video when he sold all of his stocks in his cryptocurrency, what he said was that he's going to buy back by March because he thinks all the stocks are going to go down and then they're going to start coming back up after March once the interest rates are hiked up or something. Whereas Tom Nash has a bit of a different theory. He thinks that the market's actually going to rally for the next 6, 7, 8-ish months. It's going to rally. And then what's going to happen is eventually inflation is just going to get so high. Inflation is going to hit like almost double digits. And that's when the Fed is going to be forced to make a move, either raise interest rates or, do another $1 trillion package. Unfortunately, though, um, he does not think the Fed is going to bail us out this time with a multi-trillion-dollar package like they did during COVID, because at this point, inflation's just going too high. And the crazy thing is, they can't raise interest rates too much because how are they going to fund it? Keep in mind that the the person who's taking the most loans out from the U.S. government is the U.S. government. So if we raise interest rates, that's higher payments that we have to pay to ourselves. So it's a weird circle that's and cycle that's playing out. Which if we raise interest rates, how are we going to pay it back? We Let's say we make $1 trillion package. Make more money, print more money. Well, then we just cause inflation again. We got to raise interest higher. So it's like a cycle, and it was really interesting to me because honestly, I didn't hear that before. And Meet Kevin, when he heard Tom Nash say this, he was actually in agreement with it. He said, Tom, I was thinking about March, that I'm gonna sell everything and buy everything back in by March. But the more I study it, the more I realize that the market's not coming back in March. There's gonna be something crazy that happens because inflation is gonna keep getting higher. I mean, I think we're on track right now for it to go up 0.2% every single month, and yeah, that puts us right around 10% at the end of this year. So yeah, I mean, interesting thoughts. So that was a big takeaway message that both Meet Kevin and Tom Nash think the market's gonna crash soon, and we're probably gonna go in a recession. Very interesting to me. Um, the other thing I wanted to talk about is just Meet Kevin and what he said on things he said he could have done better. I think there were some really good points there. Overall, I think Tom Nash, again, he was being very fair with Meet Kevin. He said he gave him some tips how he could improve, and he said, to remove all of the hate that he's getting, he should just go tell everyone that, look, guys, this is generally the principle in my stock market and psychology course, but at this moment, just because of seeing everything and putting all the pieces together, I have a hunch, and it's intuition, and that's all it is, and you can't really buy that from the course, and that's why I'm selling everything. He said that that's probably what Meet Kevin should have done. So I want to know your thoughts on that. And Meet Kevin also described what happened basically, right? Like, why did he suddenly sell all of his stocks? So he started out with talking about how he has this token for the Bloomberg terminal, and that token gives you a code so you can log in. And the code for for the login was actually SH9T. And gets what's the ninth letter in the alphabet, right? I mean, and that's a little bit superstitious. That's not the main reason, but that was one of the factors. The other thing is he said he's been doing analysis day to day, and you get so caught up in the day to day analysis, sometimes you forget about the big picture. And so one day he sat down and he just looked at the big picture, all of his notes from like the last month, all the research he's done from the last month, and that's when it kind of hit him. That was like the eureka moment. And that's when he decided that he just wants to sell everything. And he said, if if he could go back in the past, he would go back to, I don't know, some date in January when the Fed was talking, and he said he'd probably just sell everything then. But he kind of let it, process in his mind for a few weeks, a month, and then he did it. So yeah, those were my thoughts. I think it was a great interview. Go ahead and watch it. I'll probably link it in my description. Go check it out, guys. Thanks.